So there's been a ton of awesome mods that came out while my mic was broken, and the first one that I want to cover is going to be the Funk Remixes, because I think this mod is slept on and it is actually amazing. I'm going to be going over the backstory of this mod. I'm also going to go over each of the characters and some details about them, and I'm going to show you who's going to be the new character to come out in the next update. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the backstory of this mod is actually pretty interesting because it all actually began with a video published by a Brazilian YouTuber named Pau Troll, and I may be saying that wrong, and I'm probably going to say a couple of these Brazilian names wrong, so forgive me. Now, Troll actually made this video back in July 2021, and it was basically just a challenge with his sister where he had her look at each of the Friday Night Funkin' characters and try to guess their name and a little bit of their backstory. Now, it became obvious very quickly that his sister had never heard of Friday Night Funkin' because some of the names and backstories that she came up with were hilarious, and I'll get into each of those as I go through every character. But the names and backstories that she created that day basically fueled the creation of the Funk mod. Now, the first character that we're going to talk about is going to be Bidou, aka Boyfriend, and the first thing that I find very interesting about this version of Boyfriend is that he's actually only 17 years old, which the normal Boyfriend is actually 19. And unlike the original Boyfriend, this version of him doesn't actually speak in beat boops, he can only speak Portuguese. Now, something I find interesting as well is that Bidou is actually hated by Daddy Dearest for a fairly good reason in this mod. Basically, the character named Kevin works to spread these rumors about Bidou, basically telling Daddy Dearest that he's a drug addict. Of course, nobody wants their daughter to be dating a druggie, so Daddy Dearest challenged him to a rap battle to try to get him away from his daughter. So unlike the regular Daddy Dearest, at least in this mod, Daddy Dearest actually has a legitimate reason to not like Boyfriend. A cute fact about Boyfriend in this mod is that his name obviously isn't really Bidou, but Girlfriend gave him this nickname because she really likes ice cream. And apparently in some regions of Brazil, a Freezy is referred to as a Bidou. Now next, I think we should go ahead and talk about Girlfriend, aka Barbara. Now, what I find interesting about Barbara is that technically in this mod, she isn't Daddy Dearest's biological daughter. She was actually adopted. Now, what I find funny about this is that she also doesn't know that her parents are demons. So I don't know if she's just kind of stupid like the regular Girlfriend, or if she really just believes that there's purple people walking around with red eyes in the world. And just like I explained earlier, the reason that she always has a popsicle in her hand is of course because she loves ice cream. And just like Boyfriend, this version of Girlfriend is only 17 years old. Next up, let's talk about Daddy Dearest, or aka Great Sagu. Now, I had to look it up. Apparently, sagu is like a Brazilian dessert, and it's made with tapioca, sugar, and red wine. And I'm guessing that there can be other flavors as well. And since we already went over a lot of his backstory while talking about Boyfriend, let's go over some fun facts about him. Now, the funniest fact about this guy is that he's wearing this visor because Troll's sister in their original video said that this guy seemed to have the same powers as Cyclops, or he was Cyclops' son in some way. And I assume that the reason that she says this is because Daddy Dearest has red eyes, just like Cyclops has the red laser eyes, so maybe that's the connection that she was making. And I also have to assume that this is why his visor gains that flame effect in Rap King. Another fact that I love about this version of Daddy Dearest is that he is kind of vain. He loves new cars, but he hates when a new one comes out and is actually cheaper than the previous year. So it sounds like he likes to have the most expensive, newest thing all the time. And something else that you might have missed is that at the end of Rat King, he actually throws his mic into the ground, and later on we see Boyfriend holding that same mic. The next character that I want to talk about now is going to be Kevin, and Kevin looks like one of the old school Mommy Mirror's henchmen, but apparently in this mod, he's actually the owner of the nightclub that all these songs take place on. So the dance floor, the stage, all of this is happening at Kevin's club. And what I find interesting is that apparently Boyfriend used to work at the club with Kevin. And it seems like these two had some type of falling out, and when Boyfriend left, Kevin started spreading these rumors in order to put dirt on Boyfriend's name. Unfortunately, we don't know what actually happened between Kevin and Boyfriend, but we know that Kevin definitely wants people to hate Boyfriend, and he succeeds in at least getting Daddy Dearest to go against him. Next, let's go ahead and talk about Skid and Pump, aka Pumpkin and Death, and as you already know, these are two of my favorite characters ever introduced in Friday Night Funkin'. Now, something that I find funny is that people actually think that Skid is the Grim Reaper in this mod, and he definitely is not. Both of the kids are just wearing costumes, and Skid's in this mod just happens to look super creepy. Now, another character that we have to talk to that's attached with Skid and Pump is going to be Lemon Demon, or in this mod, he's known as Rotten Lemon. And those of you who played the original game knows that the original monster actually tricked Skid and Pump into doing his bidding. But in this mod, Troll's sister basically said that Rotten Lemon is just there to get in the way and be annoying. This is why we see all this green slime around the map, and why also some of your arrows are green slime that you can't hit. And I honestly don't know why they chose to turn him into this spider-like creature, but if it was for a creepy factor, they definitely did a good job with it. The next character I want to talk about is Favela Owner, and if you couldn't tell by the two guns, this is the person who replaces Pico. Now, some interesting changes between this version of Pico and the regular stuff is that he's actually smoking a cigarette, if you couldn't tell, and he also has this multicolored boombox that he's usually standing on top of. And at one point, his boombox completely replaces Barber's boombox because you can see her actually sitting on a hamster cage. Now, a fact that I actually didn't know coming into this was that favela is actually the name of a very poor neighborhood in Brazil, which is near Sao Paulo. And I'm gonna be honest, I've seen maps named after this, like in Call of Duty, Rogue Company, and other shooters, but I never actually made a connection of like it was actually a real place. I also found it cool that during Pico's week, you actually get to see his gang pop up. I recognize Darnell and Nene for sure, and then there's two other people in the background that I can't really place. If you know who they are, make sure to put them in the comments for me. Now, I feel like I'd be doing this mod a disservice if I didn't talk about some of the free play characters, and the first one that I want to talk about is Salsicha, aka Shaggy, and I'm sure most of you probably recognized him immediately. I mean, he has the iconic look, the green shirt, brown pants, shaggy hair. That is definitely Shaggy. And if his iconic look wasn't enough to give it away, the name Salsicha actually means shaggy in Brazilian, and apparently the other meaning is sausage.
What do you mean by that?
Now, Shaggy's appearance is actually based off his appearance in the Scooby-Doo 2 movie, which is called Monsters Unleashed, which came out back in 2004, which is when I first started high school, meaning that most of y'all probably weren't even born. Now, you may have noticed that in his song, he actually drinks his potion and he gets super buff. This is actually a direct reference to the movie. In the movie, Shaggy and Scooby both drink potions, and the one that Shaggy drinks actually turns him super buff. And this is also why we hear Shaggy in the mod say, "Check out my pecs, little man," because this is actually a direct quote from the movie. Now, I told you that if you made it to the end of the video, I give you a sneak peek into the character that's going to be coming with the next update. And it seems like that character is going to be Mommy Maris, or aka Malevolent. Now, what I find interesting about her character design is that she does have the white hair like Daddy Dearest, but she looks a lot more mechanical, at least at first glance. And for whatever reason, it looks like her microphone has this laser beam or electricity between itself and its handle. So I don't know exactly what her backstory is going to be next, but it's good to see that this mod is going to continue to evolve over time. I want to start off by saying thank you for making it to the end of this video. I appreciate all the support that y'all are giving me. I just wanted to give a quick announcement that I'm going to start streaming on Twitch again, and I would love to have you guys over there just supporting the channel and hanging out with me. I'm thinking about streaming some Friday Night Funkin' mods, so when I'm getting footage for videos like this, and I would also like to play games that are kind of attached to Friday Night Funkin'. Poppy's Playtime would be a good one, and I'm also thinking like all these PC port games that are coming out, like the Mario PC port, the Sonic EXE games, so stuff like that, play on stream with you guys and kind of react to it, and then post that to the second channel. Sorry. If you haven't already followed me on Twitch, I'm going to go ahead and put a link down in the description here at the top. And I'll also put a link to my second channel. Go check that out. We're posting on there kind of inconsistently right now, but we're going to get better at it as we go. And I also want to say sorry for the lack of videos last week. My mic broke, but now we're back in action and I'll be posting a lot this week for sure. As always, I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here where I fully explain the Indie Cross mod, or check out this video where I explain the Sync Sonic mod. As always, people, this is Orseofkorse. We'll see you tomorrow with another video. Peace.